headlines of this hour on VTV News. Vietnam continues to uphold solidarity for a better cause. And 25 Vietnamese businesses recognized at ASEAN Tourism Awards 2024. And in our world news, North Korea and China to enhance bilateral ties.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. VTV News starts right now.
Good afternoon. It is 3 p.m. local time and you're watching VTV News. I'm Huyền Tân with the top stories. Now, on the occasion of the upcoming Lunar New Year, Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh recently attended a meeting with representatives of sponsors and foreign invested enterprises in Vietnam. More on this in the following.
At the meeting, representatives from international organizations, donors, and foreign investors congratulated Vietnam on successfully overcoming challenges and achieving significant accomplishments despite the global economic downturn. These successes demonstrate Vietnam's wise choices and development orientation. The representatives also expressed their appreciation for the government's cooperation and efforts in building trust among investors in Vietnam. The Prime Minister expressed gratitude to international friends for their cooperation and assistance in the nation-building process, particularly in 2023, which contributed to Vietnam's important achievements. The Prime Minister highlighted the stable macroeconomy, controlled inflation, ensured major balances, and managed public debt, government debt, foreign debt, and budget overspending. The Prime Minister expressed hope for continued unity between international friends and Vietnam to work towards a better cause, a world without wars and where no one is left behind, promoting prosperity for each nation. This unity is driven by the principles of harmonizing interests and sharing risks, and recognizing that victories for others are also victories for Vietnam.
51 years ago, on January 27, 1973, the agreement to end the war and restore peace in Vietnam, known as the Paris Peace Accords, were signed. This agreement marked the end of the longest negotiation in the 20th century, involving 202 public sessions and 45 private meetings between Vietnam and the United States. The ceasefire agreement in Vietnam took effect on January 28, 1973, and the last American soldier withdrew from Vietnam on March 29, 1973. After nearly 5 years of negotiations, this agreement was a crucial step towards Vietnam's ultimate victory. The Paris Peace Accords represent a victory achieved through military, political, and diplomatic efforts. It stands as a pinnacle of victory on the Vietnamese diplomatic front during the resistance period against the United States, and serves as a milestone in Vietnam's history of revolutionary diplomacy. The National Power Transmission Corporation has signed credit contracts worth over $609 million to construct the 500 kilovolt Circuit 3 transmission line from Quang Trạch District, Quang Binh Province to Phố Núi Industrial Park in Hưng Yên Province. 5 domestic banks have committed to lending amounts ranging from $81 million to over $276 million to the National Power Transmission Corporation. The total investment for the 500 kilovolt Circuit 3 line projects is about $894 million. This investment aims to increase inter-regional transmission capacity from the current 2,200 megawatts to about 5,000 megawatts. And this will result in over 20 billion kilowatts per hour of commercial electricity per year. Furthermore, it will meet the electricity demand for economic development. The Prime Minister has urged ministry, branches, and relevant units to exert efforts and complete the project as soon as possible to ensure a sufficient electricity supply for the North. Currently, there are over 500 cars transporting agricultural products to the border gates of Lạng Sơn Province daily for export to China. This represents an increase of more than 100 cars per day compared to last week. The custom clearance capacity at Lạng Province border gates remains high, and on both Friday and Saturday, over 500 cars were recorded transporting export goods, primarily agricultural products. A total of nearly 11,000 tons of agricultural products, including dragon fruit, durian, watermelon, and jackfruit, were exported. However, there are still more than 500 vehicles awaiting a custom clearance, as the number of vehicles passing the border gate exceeds the capacity of the gate each day. Congestion is predominantly observed at Danang border gate. Developing planting area codes offers numerous practical benefits to people, such as standardizing the process of plant care and management. This helps meet the standards of highly demanding markets, creating favorable conditions for producers and businesses to export agricultural products through official channels. Many localities are actively promoting the establishment of planting area codes for export purposes.
5 years ago, the company identified the European and Middle Eastern markets as potential markets. Now, their canned pineapple and baby cucumber products are being exported to 16 European countries and Canada. The company has collaborated with establishments that have been granted planting area codes to ensure food quality and meet international standards.
With the planting area codes, we have more confidence in our exports. Even the smallest spice, like a garlic bulb in a pickle jar, must be produced in qualified planting areas in Vietnam.
Thanh Hoa Province has issued nearly 160 planting area codes, including 77 codes for cultivation and 1 code for packaging facilities used for export. Authorities consistently monitor these growing areas to identify and implement solutions that enhance product quality.
In the past 2 years, 39 planting area codes have been granted, mainly for chili peppers. The district will continue to oversee the development of planting area codes and provide cultivation training.
We will continue to guide organizations and individuals on the importance of establishing planting area codes. We will also provide further guidance on technical measures and re-evaluate potential products to promote the granting of planting area codes.
In 2024, Thanh Hoa Province plans to continue promoting the issuance of 69 new planting area codes. Additionally, they will enhance the management of planting area codes and export agricultural product packaging facilities to ensure compliance with plant quarantine and hygiene safety requirements.
As the upcoming Tet holiday is driving demand for consumer goods, local authorities across the country have been diligently working to develop high-capacity supply chains for vegetables. Retailers in much of Vietnam have stocked up on supplies and are working on a solution to ensure stable prices for consumers.
Consumer demands often increase significantly in the months leading up to the Tet holiday. Consequently, many retailers have allocated additional resources to gather supplies before and after Tet, with up to a 40% increase in capacity. Some have made efforts to ensure a fresh supply of vegetables, which are among the products in highest demand.
We have planned early to cater to the growing consumer demands, especially for vegetable products. We have mobilized a quality control team from as early as cultivation, harvesting, and all the way to commercial sales.
Starting from the lunar December month, we expected vegetable output to increase fourfold compared to the same period last year. So we've had suppliers ensure an adequate supply for the market.
Many retailers believe that the current supply is abundant and prices are stable. Further market monitoring will be implemented to maintain this situation.
We have 9 groups of price-stabilized products, including fruits and vegetables. We are committed to stabilizing the prices of these products. We will also partner with suppliers to obtain the best possible discounts.
According to Hanoi's Department of Trade and Industry, residents of Hanoi will require over 53,000 tons of vegetables during the month leading up to Tet. In Ho Chi Minh City, the estimated figure is 370,000 tons.
According to the Vietnam Association of Seafood Processing and Exporters, shrimp exports are expected to improve, particularly in the Japanese market. Vietnamese shrimp currently maintain a competitive advantage in this market. The U.S. market is forecast to experience a slight increase when food demand improves, inflation cools down, and retail sales recover. The most promising market is China, as its demand for shrimp imports continues to rise. Vietnamese businesses have an advantage in transportation cost when exporting to China, thanks to the short geographical distance compared to shrimp export competitors such as Ecuador. Coming up next on VTV News. Widespread cold spell engulfs northern Vietnam. And 25 Vietnamese businesses recognized at ASEAN Tourism Awards 2024. You're watching VTV News Live. The northern region of Vietnam, including Thanh Hoa province, is currently experiencing widespread cold weather and rainfall due to the increasing waves of cold air. On Saturday night, the lowest temperatures in the north and Thanh Hoa are expected to range from 9 to 12 degrees Celsius. In mountainous areas, temperatures will drop to 4 to 7 degrees Celsius, and in some high mountain locations, temperatures may go below 3 degrees Celsius. Nghệ An and Hà Tĩnh are also experiencing cold weather, with temperatures reaching as low as 11 to 13 degrees Celsius. Prolonged and severe cold weather not only affects people's health, but also causes damage to livestock and crops in high mountain areas. So it is important for people to take proactive measures to prevent the negative effects of the cold and protect livestock, poultry, and vegetable plantations. Now, in response to a severe cold spell in the north and north-central regions of Vietnam, several mountainous localities have taken measures to prevent hunger and cold for livestock. The following story was recorded in Nghệ An province.
In the past few days, Hồ Xuân Thu's family in Châu Nhân Commune, Hưng Nguyên District, Nghệ An province, has also started adding bran and salt to their livestock feed. During cold days, the family avoids taking their livestock out to the field.
Food must be stored, combined with dry food. I also have to prepare enough salt and bran.
During winter, temperatures in mountainous districts like Kỳ Sơn and Quế Phong can drop to 4 to 5 degrees Celsius at night. As a result, locals take active measures to repair barns and prevent cattle from going to the field when the cold weather approaches.
During these cold days, I keep my cattle in the barn.
Currently, Nghệ An province has 2 million cattle and 33 million poultry. Despite the presence of free grazing in some areas, a severe cold spell is forecast to persist for the next 3 to 4 days.
Local residents should not neglect the need to bring their cattle into their barns and ensure they have enough food to prevent cold and hunger.
At the same time, specialized agencies recommend that livestock farmers be prepared to prevent diseases and increase resistance in their livestock.
Presenting gifts and providing assistance for policy families, people with meritorious services, poor households ahead of the Lunar New Year festival are good traditions of Vietnam. These meaningful gestures demonstrate the great unity of Vietnamese people. Along with many localities, Quảng Nam province is organizing numerous activities to help locals enjoy a delightful and cozy Tet holiday.
This year, Quảng Nam province presented Tet gifts to nearly 124,000 policy beneficiaries. The locality allocated nearly $1.3 million to give away over 63,500 Tet gifts.
Every year, representatives of the local authority bring gifts and extend good wishes to me. I am grateful for the provincial officials' care and consideration.
We conduct reviews of the situations of the local people, especially policy families, national contributors, and poor households. The department also pays monthly subsidies and delivers gifts from the president and the province to them on time.
Furthermore, Quang Nam Province has provided financial support and gifts for poor households and earmarked over $211,000 to assist nursing facilities for people with meritorious services and beneficiaries of social assistance. In addition, the locality has also supported and given Tet gifts to nearly 1,600 disadvantaged children.
This year, we have delivered the city's gifts to policy beneficiaries, near poor and poor households earlier than previous years. We try to ensure that each family can enjoy a cozy Tet holiday.
Quang Nam Province has given Tet presents worth over $4.8 million to disadvantaged children, policy families, low-income households, and social support facilities this year. Additionally, nearly 27,700 households have been provided with over 900 tons of rice from various local authorities, ensuring that every family would have enough food for the upcoming Spring Festival.
In Vietnam's offshore waters of the southern provinces, 15 oil rigs and the DK1 platforms operate under the administration of the Scientific and Technological Economic Service. These facilities are also considered strongholds to protect sacred national sovereignty in the southern continental shelf. Only a few days before the Tet holiday, and naval vessels from the mainland visit the offshore installations with the necessities and warm wishes of people from the rear to soldiers and officers on duty on the front lines.
The sea is rough, the weather is windy and stormy. Giant waves are crashing onto ships carrying Tet flavors and warm wishes from the mainland to the DK1 platforms on the southern continental shelf. Large vessels cannot reach the rigs, so gifts, essentials, sticky rice, and dong leaves are carefully wrapped in plastic bags and transferred to the rigs by small boats. Warm wishes are being sent to officers and soldiers on the rigs using a telecommunicator.
On behalf of all cruise members, I wish you comrade strength in the upcoming lunar year. Please let me send my warm wishes to your families. I wish them good health, prosperity, and happiness.
When approaching rig number 9 and rig number 21, the sea seems calmer. Those on the cruise will be able to get on board the rigs. Among the cruise members are journalists and reporters. This is a remarkable experience for them.
This is the first time I sat to the rigs by rope. I think this is a safety way to get on the rigs. It was pure luck that we reporters could set foot on these rigs in the rough sea. I can touch the sovereignty mark in the middle of the sea. This is a national stronghold standing strong amid the vast ocean.
On the rigs, the festive atmosphere of Tet can be felt in every corner. Soldiers, officers, and guests are making chung cake and decorating the rigs for the upcoming Tet.
This is the first time I will welcome Tet on a rig. I'm excited, especially when my comrades and commanders visit and wish us a happy Lunar New Year. I'm proud that I am standing guard over national sovereignty at sea.
For the soldiers on the oil rigs, some have been celebrating Tet away from home for many years. Some are celebrating Tet on the rigs for the first time. Gifts from the mainland are a great source of encouragement and a morale boost for the soldiers standing guarding national sovereignty at sea.
The Festival of Peach Blossoms, ornamental kumquats, and regional occult products for the Spring of Dragon Year 2024 started on Friday in Hanoi. It is the first festival of its kind to ever be held. The festival will run for 1 week and showcase the finest selections of flowers and products for consumers to enjoy.
Nguyễn Thị Thanh Thủy emerged as the victor in this year's peach blossom shaping contest, which revolved around the theme Soaring Dragon.
I wanted to encapsulate the image of a rising dragon. Growing peach blossoms is a painstaking task, but I've grown to love it so much that I don't mind all the inconvenience now.
Another winner and runner-up have been announced for the ornamental kumquat tree category.
I chose to name my work Awaiting Spring to capture the joyful and excited anticipation we all feel as Tet approaches.
This second prize work will be auctioned, and all the money raised will be donated to disadvantaged families, ensuring a joyful Tet celebration for everyone. This year's competition showcased a wide variety of old car products from across the country. This has further highlighted the unmatched charm of the traditional Tet market, even in the age of online shopping.
Danang City is organizing a series of attractive and special events at the beaches in the city and Soncha Peninsula to welcome tourists during the Lunar New Year holiday. Check-in booths are available at the EC Park, Ông Tum area, Nguyễn Văn Thoại Road, and Mỹ An Night Beach. Additionally, the 2024 Danang Surfing Open is being held at Mỹ An Beach for the weekend. The program Spring of Love Spring Giáp Thìn 2024 celebration will continue until the end of Sunday at the beach area of the Nguyễn Văn Thoại Võ Nguyên Giáp intersection. Visitors can participate in folk games, explore culinary spaces, and enjoy street musical performances. 25 Vietnamese tourism businesses were honored at the 2024 ASEAN Tourism Awards ceremony held on Friday night as part of the 2024 ASEAN Tourism Forum in Vientiane, Laos. These enterprises received awards in 6 categories, namely ASEAN Green Hotel Standard, ASEAN Clean Tourist City Standard, ASEAN MICE Venue Standard for Exhibition Venue and Meeting Room, and ASEAN Sustainable Tourism Awards theme Culinary Tourism. The ASEAN Clean Tourist City Standard was awarded to the cities of Quy Nhơn, Vũng Tàu, and Huế. Coming up next in our world news, North Korea and China to enhance bilateral ties. And Singaporean tech firm tackles food waste with a circular economy model. Now moving on to our world news. North Korea and China have agreed to enhance their tactical cooperation and defend their common interests. This decision was reached during a meeting between North Korean Foreign Minister Choi Sun-hui and Chinese Vice Foreign Minister Sun Wei-dong. On Friday, the Chinese Vice Foreign Minister met with his North Korean counterpart Park Mong-hyo, as well as other North Korean officials in Pyongyang. The two countries have committed to strengthening their economic ties, among other areas of cooperation. It is worth noting that China is North Korea's largest trading partner. Furthermore, in October 2024, China and North Korea will celebrate the 75th anniversary of their diplomatic relations. In their New Year greetings, Chinese President Xi Jinping and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un declared 2024 the friendship year for their respective countries. The International Court of Justice, or ICJ, has ordered Israel to take all measures within its power to prevent acts of genocide in Gaza. The ruling ordered Israel to refrain from any acts that could fall under the Convention on the Prevention and Punishment of the Crime of Genocide, specifically regarding Palestinians in Gaza. The court stated that Israel must promptly and effectively provide humanitarian assistance in the Gaza Strip. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu immediately affirmed the country's commitment to complying with the international law and ensuring the safety of civilians in Gaza following the ruling. Many countries have expressed appreciation for this decision and hope that it will create a basis for ending hostilities. In light of the foregoing, the first Federal Open Market Committee meeting of 2024 is scheduled to take place on January 30th and 31st. With the U.S. economy gaining momentum, there are speculations about the upcoming monetary policies from the Federal Reserve's central policy-making body. According to the CME FedWatch tool, an interest rate tracker, there is a 47% chance that the U.S. Federal Reserve, or Fed, will cut rates for the first time this year in March. Regarding the upcoming meeting next week, the tool indicates that many experts anticipate the Fed to maintain rates at the current target. These predictions are based on the stronger than expected growth of the U.S. economy in the fourth quarter, with GDP increasing by 3.3%. However, the Personal Consumption Expenditures Price Index, or PCE, the Fed's primary inflation measure, only rose by 2.9% on an annual basis, significantly lower than projected. Singapore generates approximately 1 million tons of food waste annually, and in response to this challenge, some aspiring startups have adopted a circular economy model to repurpose organic waste. One method employed by companies in Singapore involves using black soldier flies to convert food waste into animal food and organic fertilizers. N2 Industries is one such company that aims to reduce food waste and promote environmental responsibility.
Through the use of black soldier flies, BSF, N2 Industries upcycles food waste to produce a sustainable, high-quality protein product. This product can be incorporated into animal feed for various farm animals and pets. Additionally, the process generates insect frass, which is processed into a nutrient-rich organic fertilizer for gardening and crop farming purposes.
After 3 days, anytime after 3 days. Also, we use the pH analyzer to test the pH level.
Black soldier fly larvae can be harvested after 12 days. With 2 tons of raw materials per day as its input, this company can obtain more than 150 kilograms of dried larvae and organic fertilizer, producing very little waste in the process.
I wanted to do something about that. So how I came about with black soldier flies is that I was looking at a lot of different kinds of technology on how to deal with all this food waste, and black soldier flies came out to be the most sustainable one, and it could create very interesting and very nutritious products.
The final amount of waste left behind is minimal. After operating for 5 years, N2 Industries products have successfully entered markets beyond Singapore. Thanks to the support from the Singaporean government and investors, the company is poised to expand its production in the future.
Now, before we say goodbye, let's take a look at the weather forecast. And that is it for our afternoon news bulletin. To rewatch our program, you can download our mobile app at VTVgo from App Store or Google Play, or check out our YouTube channel, VTV4Go. Thank you for watching and see you next time.